Have you dipped your toes into the betting markets at all for well, let me just set the stage here.
Okay.
So earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, I've been floating around the idea with you and John about the benefits of integrating Traders Post with prediction markets,
Right.
because I mean they
They're
can be
blown
pretty
up.
juicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've been playing in the prediction markets for a couple of years now because I just love the idea of once you start seeing the market as sort of like the UI for for making decisions in your life. You know, should I leave my job? Should I get a new job? What industry should I pay attention to? What should I spend on travel? Should I go on vacation? All that sort of thing. The markets are great for that. It's an objective measure of what's going on, not just what's going on with stocks, but also all the economic signals that we pay attention to. It's one of the hazards of my wife marrying someone who's in markets. All my decisions are based on market behavior.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same for you.
Your wife and my wife should talk.
That's right. Well, what happens is that when having these markets that are the better markets in in regular events in everyday life, oh my god, it appeals to me so greatly because there are charts, there are positions, you can go long, you can go short, and to be able to not just have an opinion, but to be able to profit from that opinion, I think
Sure.
is like super, super exciting. And I dream of the day that TradersPost.ai crawls into everything that could be bet and everything passes through TradersPost because if there's a number on it, why not trade it? But because
100%.
of that,
Yeah.
we've had this explosion. The election season that the United States has been going through has like just, I mean, exploded the interest in the betting markets because why just vote when you could vote with your dollars and actually make a bet for or against the party that you're favoring against. And so we've seen this week, I think I saw headline after headline. It was like $500 million of volume within the Polymarket space, and it was like a billion. The last headline I saw was $2 billion of volume within the trading space, the betting space. And
Mhm.
so what's interesting is that these bets can pay out pretty significantly. Like if we just take a look at, let me just pull that up a second here. Let's figure a bet on the Trump Kamala election. If you were to go if you were to go short on Trump on $1,000, you could make 1.5 times your money, right? Now, that's pretty sweet. Like long or short, no matter what you're doing, you could always express your bet however you like. You go long or short the candidate, and I just love the idea here that because the polling data that everyone's getting for a few years now, you've probably seen this where people can't really trust the polls as much, or at least they say so. So that the betting markets become a place where people are actually putting money down. There's no necessarily any partisanship that's happening here, and so it can become a more true reflection of what the actual sentiment is. That is until we find out recently that on Polymarket, because on Polymarket the spreads between Donald Trump and Kamala was significant compared to predicted, compared to currency, these other places. And then as because it's on crypto, you can go check to see who are the people making the bets. And there's like four accounts that were making most of the bets on Polymarket, all within the favor of Donald Trump. And it looks like there's a case to be made that they're all controlled by the same person. And so then you have this feedback effect, this reaction effect where there might be a benefit for campaigns to spend money within the betting markets in order to move the numbers in one direction so that it influences public opinion. I'm like, I
Okay.
don't care about public opinion here. What I care about is if they're on the other side of the bet, right? And some campaign is moving the number in one direction, and you short that,
Right.
then as you get closer to the election and the numbers theoretically become realer, you can make the money on that difference that they
So
were. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that's where my mind went immediately. If there's an outsized bet on Trump within these markets and you're noticing a disparity between two different markets, that sounds like an arbitrage opportunity to me. You go long the other market and short this market. And that actually even allows you to hedge this bet in some capacity. But yeah, I mean, obviously, this sounds like a short opportunity. There's no way it's 60-40 right now. I think across the board, most people are pretty consistently feeling like it's still 50-50. We're splitting hairs at this point. So if that's the case, it's a good short opportunity in these betting markets.
I love the idea of Be like, oh, there's going to be some major event, maybe not in this election or some other one. There's going to be a debate. There's going to be a big news story, what have you, and then you go, okay, how well do I think that person will do? And then you can place your bet accordingly. And to me, it appeals to me because I'm not going to bet on sports. Like I'm not a sports ball guy. If I would say one big guy fighting another big guy, I go, oh, either one can win. But when it comes to not just political events, but weather effects, climate, movie box office, game releases, music releases. These are bets I can really sink my teeth in. And the more volume that's traded around, the more liquid the market becomes, and the more you can actually place strategic bets. And so you can have a portfolio on Polymarket, and this I had at the time, a portfolio on Polymarket that reflected my reviews across 5 different industries. It was just who I was, and then I could see the payouts and go like, well, I was wrong about that. I should change my opinion about the subject because I was totally wrong that Rings of Power for HBO, Lord of the Rings on HBO was going to be good. Turns out I should have shorted that idea. So to me, it's absolutely fantastic to see more of the market spider out in all kinds of different subjects.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the event-based betting, these types of markets here, like Polymarket, are pretty fascinating in that we now get to express a trade in a different way. But at the same time, I think what's also fascinating about it is what you've clearly highlighted as what I would consider a market inefficiency. And obviously, anytime there's a brand new market that is starting to explode, if you can discover these inefficiencies, there's some money to be made, regardless of your opinion on the subject. Like whether or not you believe Trump will win or not, if there's a bet to be made here that has strong odds in your favor, I'll take that bet all day long.
Absolutely. Have you ever you introduced me to the website? Shoot, what was that chart website? Is it? It was a series of charts of showing what's popular recently. Was it? Goodness gracious, I had it written down.
Is that
Um,
spurious correlations?
No, it was one
No.
where it's showing you all kinds of these trends that were like really popping off right now. Just a grid of
Exploding
uh,
topics.
exploding topics, and it allowed me. What I liked about it is that I was checking it every day to be like, oh, should I? What's going on that I don't really know about? What's actually bubbling up beyond the surface? And to me, the meta markets are the same sort of thing. So going through here, like when I see stuff like will Elon tweet Elon Musk's number of tweets between October 11th to the 18th. Like this is the sort of thing I find to be just so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like get away from the heaviness of markets. These sorts of things are so cool. And the idea that someone might have made the volume on this market was 423,000. The idea that someone might have made enough to buy a Christmas vacation for the family, betting on that, I just find to be absolutely fascinating.
One of the perks of American capitalism.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to add on top of that, just so you think it's uh, not too inside baseball for this sort of thing, Interactive Brokers has started integrated with their platform betting markets, right? It's
Yep.
interactive brokers, and so people are able to not just vote on the elections, but there are these forecast contracts that essentially act as options.
Mhm.
So you can't lose more than you put in. There's a type of asymmetrical payout that you can have, and the idea is that it's been going on for a couple of years now, but it's really started to pick up. And the new interface for interactive brokers makes it so that it might be more appealing to more and more people. So it's one of those things where the election is like the gateway drug to the bet markets, and once you're in, um, you might not want to get out, especially if you're making bank. I mean, double your money on something you're like, well, I know a lot about this thing. Like, I know a lot about Xbox game releases. I'm going to bet on that, and you can make your money that way. I think it's fascinating. So TradesPost got to get on it and integrate with these platforms.
Have you seen the CME's event contracts? It's pretty similar, but mostly around price being above or below specific points
I see.
in different futures contracts. So I think we're seeing a lot of these types of alternative betting contracts that are all very similar to futures. I'm open to the idea of it for TradersPost, of course, because they effectively operate like futures contracts. So it wouldn't be too difficult to integrate, I don't think.
Right. I'll keep bugging. I'm going to use the show as a platform in order to bully John into adding certain features to to Traders Post. And if there's any popularity, I guess I'll have to put it in. It won't just be Tom's opinion. That'll be fun.